Primary memory and secondary memory are two distinct memories of our computer system, and in this video I will explain top 10 major differences between primary memory and secondary memory. So let me start with the definition. Let's understand the definition of primary and secondary memory. Primary memory, also known as RAM, random access memory, is a volatile memory that stores the data and instructions temporarily while the computer is running. So they are the temporary memory of our computer system that stores the data and instructions on the temporary basis. Whereas the secondary memory, also known as storage or auxiliary memory, is a non-volatile memory that stores the data permanently for long-term use. So they are the permanent memory. Let's see the examples of primary and secondary memory. So primary memory examples include static RAM or dynamic RAM, similarly ROM, cache memory and CPU registers. So basically RAM, ROM, cache memories and CPU registers are some examples of primary memory, whereas secondary memory examples include hard disk drive, solid state drives or optical disk like CD/DVD and pen drive. So these are the examples of secondary memory. And the third difference is on the basis of volatility. So primary memory is a volatile memory, meaning it loses its content when the power is turned off or during a system restart. So when our computer system is turned off or it restarts, the data in the primary memory is lost. It cannot hold the data permanently. Whereas secondary memory is a non-volatile memory, meaning it retains the data even when the power is turned off. So the secondary memory holds the data permanently without damaging any part of the data even if the power is turned off. Let's talk about the speed of primary and secondary memory. Actually, primary memory is faster than secondary memory. Data can be read from and written to RAM memory much more quickly because the speed of primary memory is higher than the secondary memory, whereas the secondary memory is slower than primary memory. Retrieving data from secondary memory takes more time because it is slower as compared to the primary memory. Now let me tell you about the capacity of both the primary and secondary memory. Primary memory has generally smaller storage capacity as compared to the secondary memory. It is typically measured in GB called gigabytes. So primary memory stores less amount of data as compared to the secondary memory. However, secondary memory offers large storage capacity. It can range from gigabytes to terabytes or even more, so they can store huge amount of data and instructions as compared to the primary memory. If we talk about the cost of these memories, primary memory is more expensive than secondary memory on per gigabyte basis. It means if we buy high storage primary memory, we have to pay more money. However, secondary memory is relatively affordable than the primary memory when considering the cost per gigabyte. It is cheaper as compared to the primary memory. Now let me tell you about the persistence of these memories. Primary memory is not persistent. It means the data is lost when the system loses power. When we turn off our computer system, whatever the data is stored in the primary memory will be deleted or lost. Whereas in case of secondary memory, it is persistent and the data retains intact even when the power is turned off. It means the secondary memory can hold the data even if the power is turned off. The data remains complete without any damage. So primary memory is not persistent or constant, whereas secondary memory is persistent or the constant type of memory. If I talk about the access mechanism, Primary memory provides random access. It means any part of the memory can be accessed directly by the CPU without the need to access the preceding data. So the CPU can access any part of the information that is available in the primary memory, whereas in case of secondary memory, it provides sequential access. It means the data is accessed in a linear manner that requires movement through the preceding data. CPU cannot directly access any part of the memory, so it provides sequential access, whereas the primary memory provides random access to the data and information. Now let me tell you about the uses of primary and secondary memory. Primary memory is used to hold the data and programs that the CPU is actively processing or using at any given moment. So primary memory are used to hold or store the data and instructions that the computer is currently processing, whereas secondary memory is used for the storage of data and informations for long term. They stores the data, software, applications, documents, and other media files permanently for long term. Finally, let me tell you about the technology used by both of these memory. Primary memory utilizes faster technologies like static RAM or dynamic RAM, so they are faster than the secondary memory, whereas secondary memory employs slower technologies like hard disk drives or solid state drives or optical discs like CDs, DVDs. That's why they are slower as compared to the primary memory. So these are the top 10 major differences between primary and secondary memory. I hope you have understood and liked the video. Now if you want to know computer memory in detail, you can click on the left video, and if you want to know about the input and output devices of the computer system, you can click on the right video.